Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin Cash. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the weekly chart, we have this setup. And I've had this set up for a very long time on this chart. And if you have been keeping up with my Bitcoin Cash updates on the channel, we did have a very nice trade over here. If you remember this pump in June 2023, we did have a very nice setup for you guys where we made a video all the way back when it was sitting at $300 there. And we pulled back to the 20 MA. So I gave you the 20 MA and this support here at $180 as a really good entry, or 175 rather. And if you managed to do that, you could have potentially secured around a 44% discount for your Bitcoin Cash if you were looking to swing trade, or if you were simply looking to accumulate in this range over here and then wait for a move to the upside. This is very reminiscent of what we saw with Uniswap, with Chainlink, and of course right now with Bitcoin Cash. So we saw a pullback to the 20 MA, perfect entry point for anyone looking to get into Bitcoin Cash. For example, if you missed out this accumulation that we've had for a very long time here, approximately 371 days of accumulation, and then we had that massive breakout, 265%, and from there obviously we rolled over. And what happened after that is that we were essentially in a slow uptrend over here, very slow, very minor uptrend. We were holding the 20 MA as support perfectly, and then bam, another explosion to the upside. Very good. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing here with Bitcoin Cash. Of course, right now I would not be recommending, getting into Bitcoin Cash just the way I wasn't recommending getting into Bitcoin Cash over here. It's just not a very good entry point, because you don't want to be chasing green candles. You buy in over here, you're gonna get a dump. You bought in over here, you got a dump. So just be careful entering and chasing these green candles. You should always either buy during bear markets, right? Or during these small retracements after that impulsive move. So we are going to be waiting for a retracement here. The 20 MA once again is going to be an optimal entry point. We could also target this local top, and that's going to be sitting at $300, which from the bottom, from the bear market bottom, is a 242% to the upside. So just keep in mind that you're going to be buying this high cap altcoin at a 242% from the bear market bottom. Now, if you're paying attention to the chart, you saw this massive trend line that was our support. Then we lost it, back tested it as resistance, and got rejected essentially, and we created this triple bottom pattern before we broke out. So a retest of that trend line could be on the horizon during 2024. So what could end up happening is that we see a retracement back to $300 or so, we consolidate again, and then we have another explosion to the upside, taking us to that white trend line maybe by the end of the year. And you also have the upper white trend line, which for the most part has been the top for Bitcoin Cash. For example, we can just switch this up a bit and set it up in a bit of a different way here. Right, so just like that. So this white trend line was the peak in December 2017, in May 2021, and this time around, this could be the peak of this bull market. So I know it doesn't look very bullish, right? Only a 68% move to the upside, and I would say that we're probably going to break above both of these white trend lines. And I would probably say that we could even break above the 2021 all-time high, or we could simply retest it, right? I'm not saying we're going to break above it and see a massive move to the upside. At least I think a retest of that is going to be possible. Now, from the current prices, that's going to be a 217% to the upside. But since we're printing these 100x candle or 100% candles, it's possible that we could get there, by June and have a retracement from there. So it's possible we're going to print our bull market top for this coin earlier just like the way we printed it earlier in 2021. Now, some coins did print it in May as well, but for the most part, other coins did pump into August and November 2021, while this coin just dumped, right? So by July, October 2022, we were obviously printing that bottom, but as you can see, we were printing lower highs during the period when other altcoins were printing higher highs. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And once again, don't FOMO in, not a financial advice, of course, but you do not want to be FOMOing in to these projects that are pumping. Now let's switch over to a different chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart here, we can clearly see an accumulation phase where we were in a sideways channel for 371 days. We covered that already. Then we did give you this symmetrical triangle in the previous update, I believe, and this played out perfectly. As you can see, a massive breakout. You had a lot of price compression over here at the latter part of 2023 in the last quarter there, and then we exploded into the golden ratio of this Fibonacci retracement. Now this Fibonacci retracement, as you can see, set up from the all-time high, or rather the 2021 peak, down to the February 2021 low. So we lost that in January 2022, had a very nice backtest of resistance of that exact level, and then we crashed. So right now, what happened is we broke above that same level. So we broke above this level over here. We're going to switch to a different Fibonacci retracement. But I do want to draw your attention to the fact that we perfectly backtested this 1.618, $102. This was a really good entry point. This was a really good entry point at the technical target based on this fractal here, as you can see. Got to the technical target, and then we exploded. So if you followed the videos, if you followed the channel, and you were buying Bitcoin Cash when we were giving updates on this, you're sitting at profits. You're sitting at a really good profit here, on average around 4x probably. So let's set up a different Fibonacci retracement here just to see what our targets to the upside are going to be looking like. The golden ratio is essentially in the exact same spot that we had it on the other fib, right? Let me just remove the smaller one so it's not as distracting. But you can see we're running into the golden Fibonacci retracement area once again. That's $504. So we wicked all the way up to $504. The next resistance level is going to be at $791, then $1,400, and then our minimal target at $3,000. But again, I don't know if we are going to be able to break above the May 2021 high. If we are going to do that, perfect. That's going to be really good. But I just don't know whether we can do that or not. So major resistance level over here for us. I would expect a retracement. And of course you can see a red resistance block over here. So between $378 to $279, we have a resistance area that we rejected a few times over the past year or so. Finally, we broke above it. So coming back down into it and back testing it as support would be very nice. Of course, you can expect a bounce off of the 200 EMA or the 20 EMA at the same time. Those would be two good entry points for you. So that's sitting around $306. So around $300, you would have an optimal entry point. Below that, if you manage to catch the price below that, that's even better, right? But an optimal entry point would be at $300 in my personal opinion. Now on the weekly chart here, you can see that we are in the overbought once again, just like we were in June 2023, and we rolled over from there. So that's what I would be expecting. I would be expecting a pullback. I would not be expecting this to pump like crazy. Although anything could happen, but I'm just being realistic and conservative. I would be expecting a retracement, and you of course have this pink trend line to look at. And if we manage to get down there, that is going to be a really, really good entry point for you guys. But that should be it for this video. Hopefully you bought into Bitcoin Cash earlier. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you learned something useful. Let me know what is your average buy-in price, and let me know what are your targets during the bull market. Stay safe and take care.